And, they talk about it and all that good stuff, and I'm going to just skip ahead because, it's a big section, I like it because they show some good strongman shit, which is missing from Mark Ripato's, starting strength book. Can't learn how to do a farmer's carry from there. Doesn't seem that complex to me. Grab the fucking thing, walk. Squatting, stone loading. Good example of stone loading. Really, really good shots of him doing it. Good examples of twisting. Holy shit, there's more. I forgot how long this section is. Broad jumps, all this stuff. I don't mean jumping on women. I mean like jumping forward, not like broads. We're not in the 30s. You shouldn't be confused about that anyway. Lunging, different types of lunges. Then you got the physiological strength, prepping meals, and how, macro nutrition, which is to me so very important in terms of weight management, is where macros come in handy. Different types of oxidation and all this stuff, and how to track it and how to shop. They have their own ideals on what kind of food you should be eating. Who the fuck doesn't? I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't necessarily disagree with it. Getting all your food from grass-fed beef and chickens that are free range and only the organic eggs and stuff like that. Cooking in bulk makes it easier. And then, stick with it for a while and fine-tune. I've preached that before, and it seems like, hey, if they agree with it, maybe I'm right. No such thing as right in this industry. Only opinions that get backed up by metadata. Digestion, things like enzymes and probiotics. I eat my Greek yogurt. Place for it. Hydration, how much water, bath and body products. This is actually a very interesting section. You become what you drink. I like that idea. I drink a lot of water. I piss way too much. Bothers me a lot. They talk about different filtration systems and how even the water you shower with changes how you are. Which is why I've also always been a fan of a fucking whole house filter, because it's just goddamn easier that way than filtering your drinking water versus the water you wash your hands with or the water you bathe in. Things get absorbed through the pores. As you stand in smoke, you'll start to feel kind of brought down. And I don't mean like cigarette smoke, I mean any smoke. And it's just what happens. If you ever sat in a hookah lounge for like an hour and a half, you know what I'm talking about. Funny story real quick. I don't mean to grease my own ass, which is another phrase I got from Greg Valentino, and I fucking love it because it's awesome. It's better than jerk myself off. I think so. I love it. I don't mean to grease my own ass, but I was at the hookah lounge this years ago. And this is when I smoked. And we're sitting there doing, just smoking hookah, doing whatever, and I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here, man. It's getting on me. I gotta get some fresh air. And I walked outside with a friend of mine. We walked out, left the other two guys sitting there, and we walked out, and I lit up a cigarette and started smoking. I was like, I need fresh air. Just how stupid. I love it. It's everybody's capable of that. I didn't do it for comedy either. I didn't even realize what I was doing until I was doing it. And I was like, that makes sense. Most of this stuff in these sections here about the bathing and stuff like that were written by Eliot. Daily Rhythms, Seasons of Lives. Getting back into the circadian rhythm, which is basically the idea that we have been on this planet and evolved to basically go to sleep when the sun goes down and wake up when the light is out. And basically that artificial light sources fuck with our circadian rhythm. And there's lots of good research in that field, and I totally understand it, but I'm an American, so. It got ingrained in me for a long time, that basically I'm in control of my body, and when I say it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. So my body will go to sleep when I go to sleep. I'm the kind of guy, when I'm sleeping, that's what I'm doing. When I'm training, that's what I'm doing. When I'm eating, that's what I'm doing. When I'm talking, that's what I'm doing. And, that's how I am. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying that's what I do, that's who I am. So there's something to be said for the control you can have over your own body, where basically you can train yourself to basically sleep in any situation or stay awake through anything. You know, I've stayed up for 4 days, I think was my record. And not necessarily I wasn't very, you know, peppy, but I survived. He talks about annual rhythms, the different seasons you need to go through, and change yourself. He even cites certain YouTubers that, not to sound fucked up, but they kind of feel like shills. Talks about how before winter we tend to eat more because we're so used to not being able to find food during the winter because everything's dead, so we eat more and then our metabolism slows down, things like that. Bulking in the winter, baby. Goes through seasons of life, not just throughout the year. It's like your entire, you know, life, changing things about ourselves to try to keep certain parts of us alive because we enjoy them. And I remember this section, this particular thing. You know, as a culture, we celebrate youth, vitality, and aliveness. I'm not sure if that's a word. We dye our hair, we get plastic surgery, and we take Viagra to attempt to artificially keep summer going when we should really be experiencing fall. In going hard all the time, we tend to miss out on the harvests that fall and winter have to offer. Tell me, if we appreciate the oranges, reds, and yellows of the autumn leaves, and we admire the snowy winter landscape that the colder seasons bring us, why then do we dishonor the beauty that arises in us in forms of gray hair and wrinkled skin? Or on a micro level, why repress the fatigue and lack of productivity that occur from time to time? I love that idea. That is one of my favorite ideas ever. Not just in this book, but the idea that fucking accept where you're at in your life. These goddamn 40-something-year-olds, 50-something-year-olds wearing fucking Ed Hardy. Dude, you're a joke, okay? You're a joke. You know you're a joke. You have to know. Please tell me you know. Do you know? You know now. Accept where you're at in your life. If you're 20, it's okay to act 20 every once in a while. And if you're 40, it's okay to fucking act 40 every once in a while. Regardless of what that means. And what I mean by that is when you're younger, people expect you to make really silly, stupid mistakes. Like buying that really fancy car. Like buying that 87 Mustang you really shouldn't have bought when you could have bought a more practical vehicle that didn't need any work. I'm not bitter about it. The person's not bitter about it.